Dear listeners, today's our topic is conflict management. It is a question which sometimes arises before us how to have deal with conflicts because conflicts are a normal part of our social life. We cannot avoid all of them. The question is how to find the better strategy solving conflicts and how to get the better result in it. So we will consider 5 different ways and answer the question how avoid provoking people to their conflicts. The word conflict is associated with negative experience. Sometimes it brings people to their painful and undesirable events. On board of a ship sometimes it can turn into the real accident. So it's necessary to have the proper strategy and know how to have deal with conflicts to solve them without any these accidents. I would like to start this lesson from the news which came to us in 2020. Those days we were under the coronavirus pandemic. So it really shocked everybody. So master of Panamax container ship killed by 12 crew. Master of container ship Spirit of Hamburg docked in Cartagena, Colombia, was reportedly killed by crew on board, understood on April 16, 2020, or during the night, April 16, 17. According to local news radio station RCN Radio was told by the police that there was conflict between 12 crew and 51-year-old Burmese captain, which ended up in a fight. Police so far aren't sure as to how it all happened, because there are language problems and discrepancies between seaman narrative and facts police already has. If confirmed, this tragic accident leaves us with most important questions. What triggered conflict and murder? And is it related to coronavirus mess, crew change delays, and growing tension among crew members? So we are going to answer the question if it is correct to think of any conflict as a negative experience caused by abnormally difficult circumstances. And maybe some of you will be surprised to know that it is not. That conflict is a normal part of our social life, and the problem is not the conflict itself, but how to have deal with it. And also we must understand that any conflict, solving it will bring us to the next level of our development, and it will improve our personality and our attitude to the outside events. Having positive attitude to conflict, you will gain the open mind and ability to find new opportunities for you, for your personal development, for development of your company, for people surrounding you. It's necessary to make effort and to get it. So words quotation of Dean Koontz is given to you here on this slide. My life has a mysterious purpose that I don't understand, and day by day, conflict by conflict, I learn by going where I have to go. Conflict is a normal part of organization life, providing numerous opportunities for growth through improved understanding and insight. Here you will find the explanation what conflict is. It is really the notion which is well understood by every of us, and that is why we will find many definitions. And analyzing those definitions, I have found out that they are different, but the ideas are the same. So the most common ideas which are going in these definitions are shown on your screen. So there are recognized opposing interests between parties in a zero-sum situation. There must be a belief by each side that the other one is or will act against them. This belief is likely to be justified by actions taken, and conflict is a process having developed from their past interactions. There are many different classifications on conflicts, and the difference between them is the basis which is chosen. But it is out of our interest, and I have brought to your attention only one of this classification, which considers conflicts from the point of view of number of people involved into it. So they are considered to be of 4 types, and the first type is the interpersonal conflict, when the conflict is deeper inside of the personality, and it is conflict within one person. So other 3 groups are groups of conflicts where some people are involved into it. So intragroup, for example, between individuals, interpersonal, between 2 or more individuals, and intergroup, between different groups of people. We have already mentioned that it's necessary to have the positive attitude to the conflict and the open mind to new opportunities brought by it into your life. So this slide will explain how to get it. So, for example, we need to transform the situation from my wayside into one in which we accept new possibilities that have been otherwise elusive or invisible. Working conditions of our social life will add us to the situation when conflicts are not only normal part of our social life, but they are predictable and even expectable. So, the ship is the place where people work under the pressure of time, pressure of tasks, and that is why we must be prepared to have deal with conflicts and to solve them positively and effectively. So the next quotation of Winston Churchill encourages us to get the positive mind. He said, "A pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity, an optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty." You can see on your screens factors which are considered to be negative on board of a ship, encouraging people to conflicts. But if you are prepared, if you're aware, you will be able to have deal with them and even to turn them into the new options and advantages to get more effective and more efficient work from this environment. So we've just been proved that conflict brings us not only the negative emotions, but a number of new opportunities. It's necessary to have the open mind and to notice those opportunities and to turn the situation into their advantage. It's necessary to be positive and constructive. There are some questions shown on your screen. There are 3, and before choosing the better strategy, it's necessary to answer all of them. So the first question is, how much do you value the person or issue? The second question is, do you understand the consequences? And the Third one, do you have the necessary time and energy to contribute? Another quotation is on your screen. Phyllis Bottom said that there are two ways of meeting difficulties. You alter the difficulties, or you alter yourself meeting them. You can see 5 strategies which are commonly considered to be useful for parties in the conflict, and they will depend on your attitude to interests of your partner and to your personal interests. Learning this scheme, you will understand how it works, and further part of presentation will add to your knowledge and how to choose the better strategy. So let's do it. To have dealt with conflict, it's necessary to have dealt with yourself first of all. So Brian McGill said, the conflict we have with the outside world are often conflicts we have within ourselves. Our response to the conflict can come from different sides, and being aware on them, we will be ready to control any of them. I mean 3 main responses: emotional, cognitive, and physical. And physical and emotional responses will prevent us from the positive attitude to the conflict at the beginning. It's necessary to down our emotions and to turn on cognitive response. You will have a chance to review knowledge taken from this lesson if you try to add the phrases shown on your screen. It is your task. Even conflicts will bring us to the new opportunities and options. It's better to avoid them and predict those options beforehand and avoid conflicts beforehand. And it will depend not only on the situation, it will depend on our behavior, on our attitude to other people on board of a ship. Does seafarers' effectiveness and well-being depend on their communication skills development? The ability to properly and effectively communicate in writing and through conversation is important not only to the safety of ships, visitors and passengers, but to the well-being of crews. So let's consider the two situations when people are provoking to conflicts or when the provocation is avoided. There is a task for you. You can see here the speech addressed to the colleagues by the new master at the first meeting. The speech is, "Hello everyone, I believe you have already heard that I'm your new master. I want to warn you at once that I will not tolerate idols, non-professionals, incompetent subordinates. For all violations such as lateness, non-compliance with the dress code, discussion of orders, insubordination, and in general violation of orders and discipline will be severely punished." There are a number of questions. The first is, what does this character want? Does he want anything negative? What do you feel after listening to him? What can you tell about his personality and maybe his experience? What reaction of his subordinates can be predicted? Can you consider that this speech will provoke people to the conflict? Think of these questions carefully. Read it and be ready to look at the situation from both points of view. From the point of view of his subordinate and which strategy will be taken by you in this case. And from the point of view of this character. And from this point of view, you will have a chance to improve his speech at the next slide. There is another task for you, and I hope that you have already written your own speech. In this case, you will gain the maximum effect of this task. So the improved speech is, "Dear colleagues, I am glad to have this opportunity to work in a team of real professionals, experts in their field. Let me introduce myself. My name is, and I have experience of working in different companies and on board of ships. Starting today, I will be acting as a master, and I would like to say that the work of our crew is aimed at clear and timely execution of tasks in accordance with all instructions and requirements. This means that we are a team of qualified and experienced specialists. We are in our place, and everybody performs our work responsibly. I highly appreciate professional work, discipline, constructive suggestions, thoughtful actions, competence, knowledge and compliance with instructions, ability to control the situation as well as self-controlling." Does this person want anything different from that person with his previous speech? Or maybe they want the same? Do both of them come to the same effect from their speech, or the effect will be different?